Hello and welcome to First Time. This is a follow-up video on my previous one about social thinkers and why we should avoid them. I was really happy to have done an everyday topic that's super relatable because it allowed for a good range of commentary and feedback, and based on that and the thoughts it's given me, I've decided to do a follow-up video with my afterthoughts. You know, it's not necessary to have a whole other different term such as social thinkers, which, you know, words have connotations to them. They mean something in a subjective way of what we associate them with. And in some ways, by using a new term, you've kind of got a clean slate and a different way of looking at things sometimes, but in other times you can just be more creative with existing words. So I do agree there are many other terms. We have sheep, herd mentality, there is NPCs. I didn't know you could refer to a person as a bot, but I really think that's pretty cool and fitting. And then just the good old people pleasers. It completely sums it all up. So look, in my video, I did otherize social thinkers to try and, like, you know, I didn't really acknowledge my social thinking in everyday life. But as someone put it, we are all social creatures. And there are people who hold dearly to their own viewpoints that are against the status quo, and they refuse to surrender just to be part of the group. These people are often ostracized and deprived of many things that people need for their general well-being. As a therapist commented, we are social creatures, and I completely hold to that, and I completely acknowledge that I do social thinking and hive mind in certain contexts to survive. Guilty as charged. However, over time, as I grow in age and mature, I have learnt to become very wary of simps because I'm concerned about being manipulated after having experienced this before. And I guess it's about how close you are to someone, because the people close to me in my life, I really want them simping for me and rooting me on, you know, validating me, loving me, everything, so that I don't have to, like, grow or change, or at least make it really gentle. Guilty. I think in my experience, I was drawn to people pleasers, social thinkers, NPC bots. So I surrounded myself in a small little bubble with people who validated me. However, over time, I've learnt to be more autonomous, and I do have more insights and self-understanding, hence why I'm even doing this video. But it's also, you know, I'm in this space after having alienated myself and having to start all over again. I don't regret taking out the trash because I do feel empowered. I do have clarity of thought, and sometimes when you speak your mind, you hear your echo, and then you're thinking, yeah, that's right, or actually, I didn't really mean that, and this is what I think. It really, if you keep everything inside, you don't know what's in there anymore. You have to, you know, take out the trash. You have to clean out the cupboards from time to time. Through certain experiences of speaking my mind and not hearing back from the social thinker who can't say what they think, that's a plural, by the way, in my personal experience, I have had to start again, and I think nowadays I'm more careful who I talk to. I am more selective with my topics, which is kind of ironic because I'm just sending out this video to everyone and anyone to see, but, you know, life doesn't always make sense. I often really do like and respect people who I disagree with on things, people I know or public commentators as well. You know, if somebody is passionate, has conviction, is eloquent, I'm really going to like and respect them regardless. Well, to a varying degree, but often I will, even if I'm not on the same level as them, or I don't feel the same way as them. I will respect them and be attracted to them because they're interesting. I think anyone who's passionate is really interesting. But, you know, with certain friends, if I know that things aren't going to be comfortable, there could be bad blood, and I might not hear from them again. And at the end of the day, we are social creatures, and we do need a degree of people in our lives. To a degree. I do believe, though, it's a bit of a trap if you're always around people and you don't get time to yourself to synthesize who you are and what's changing in you, and to think about all those things. However, being shut off in your own world where you feel safe and you can be free to have your own thoughts and philosophy, it never stacks up to being enough because we are social beings. But that said, I can think of heated arguments that I've had with my father. It has provided me so much more insight. I know so much more about how he thinks. I know what motivates him. Hint, he's a social thinker. But overall, it's been a great thing. Thankfully, father-son relationship is something that can withstand debate and, you know, an argument that isn't personal. But sadly, with most friendships, in my experience, they can't withstand those sorts of conversations. You know, and I'm referring to sometimes close friends that I've had for, in some cases, 30 plus years, or partners. But at the end of the day, I do get it, and I do see the wisdom in people that just want to have a pleasant time and want to get along. It is constructive, and sometimes debates are not constructive. I guess where I feel though is if you're not having those important conversations, then maybe it's a waste of time. There is a time and a place just to have a simple time that's good to get along and enjoy life, especially if you're working very hard. So where I stand when someone's like, can't we just have a simple good time and get along and, always avoid these topics? That's where I'm like, well, that is a perfect environment. If we're in a society where people just want to avoid the difficult, avoid the friction and just have a smooth, easy time, that's the perfect breeding ground for an authoritarian regime to take over, because people aren't going to pay attention. They just want to make their money, move on, next is good for me. But actually, we could all wake up one day and it ain't that good. So there's an argument to be said for waking the fuck up, having those difficult conversations, and thinking about things around you, thinking what you stand for, what's important. But it all has to be in balance, it all has to be to a degree. So in summary, I've been a social thinker, but only where necessary. In relationships where I can't be completely myself, I will still nurture and nourish those friendships. I will water them along the way, but they're not going to be enough for me. Hope it's been a good video. Stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.